In this lecture, we are going to practice another finite automata, that is NFA with epsilon closure. By epsilon closure, we mean that we are going to have null moves or moves from one state to another state without reading any input symbol, and how to calculate epsilon closure of a state. Okay, so before this lecture, you must have watched the video for the detailed introduction of NFA and the examples of NFA, and also the NFA to DFA conversion process, because the conversion process of NFA with epsilon closure to NFA without epsilon closure is very much similar to the NFA to DFA conversion process. Okay, now what is NFA? Just a quick revision of NFA. So NFA is a finite automata with 0, 1 or more moves from one state for a given input symbol. So in NFA we can have multiple moves for same input symbol from a given state. For example, here from Q0 we are having moves to 3 states, 1 to Q0, 1 to Q0, next to Q1 and next to Q3. So this is a NFA where we are having 3 moves of same input symbol from a single state, or we can have more than 3 moves or 0 moves or 1 move. So there is no boundation of number of moves, but in DFA we can have only one outgoing from a state for a given input symbol, right? Next, now we are studying about the finite automata. So new structure we are going to introduce is epsilon NFA or NFA with epsilon closure. So this NFA with epsilon closure is a superset of all the NFAs. Okay, so DFAs are the subset of NFA, DFAs are subset of NFA, and NFAs are subset of NFA with epsilon closure, right? So we can say that all DFAs are NFAs and all NFA DFAs are NFAs with epsilon closure. How? We will be checking in next slides. So NFA, this is the formal definition of NFA that we have already covered in previous lectures. So in this we are having a power set of states as a resulting set, because from a state we can move to multiple states, as here we are having the power set as to comprises of Q0, Q1 and Q3 for the transition of 0 from the Q0. So we are having the power set of states from a given state for a given input symbol. So this is NFA, rest tuples are same as DFA, there is no difference. Next we have, now what is epsilon closure and what is epsilon move? So for NFA with epsilon moves, we are having, we can move to any state with 0, 1 or more transition for an input symbol, or we can move to any other state without reading any input symbol. Those moves are known as the null moves or the epsilon moves. Okay, next we have NFA with epsilon closure, NFA with full null moves. So epsilon NFA is NFA which contains epsilon moves. Now if we are having null moves in a NFA, that NFA is NFA with epsilon closure. So null moves are transition from one state to another state without reading any input symbol. For example, here we are having a null move from Q0 to state 1 Q1, and from Q2 we are having null move to state Q3, or we can say that we are being on Q0 means we are on Q1 as well, because we can move to Q1 even without reading any input symbol. So from Q0 to Q3, if we are going through this path, we just need only one input symbol, that is 1. Okay, because this is the epsilon or null move, means this for this move we are not requiring any input symbol. Same way, being on Q0 means we are having a null move from Q0 to Q0 itself. Okay, so whether we are drawing this transition or not, it is understood that from a given state we are having null move to itself, because we are on the same state if we are getting no input symbol. So this null move is obvious and by default, we can say that. So now being on Q0 if we receive 1, we are moving to state Q2, and being on Q2 means we are already on Q3 because Q2 is having a null transition to the state Q3. So if we are on Q2, we are on Q3 also because we can move to Q3 without reading any input symbol, and this last move from Q0 to Q3 is directly a 1. Okay, so this is the NFA with epsilon closure. For the regular expression, we can say that regular expression for this is any number of zeros received at the initial state followed by exactly 1 1. As we are having only we will be following one path, either this path, this is the first path, either this path, second path, or this is the third path. So we will be following any of these paths to reach the final state Q3, and being on Q3 means after that we are having no other moves. So if we are on Q3 after receiving a single one, that means the string is accepted and we are having all scope of any number of zeros or 0 or more zeros at Q0. So this regular expression is for this NFA with epsilon closure. So rules are same. If we are having DFA and we are drawing the NFA first, then NFA and DFA should have the same language. Same way, if we are constructing the NFA with epsilon closure, then NFA with epsilon closure must have the same language of DFA. Okay, because ultimately we have to implement DFAs only. We can program or we can code DFAs for implementation only. We cannot program or code for the NFA or for the NFA with epsilon closure. But yes, NFA with epsilon closure are even easier to construct than NFA. So we can go for NFA with epsilon closure for any of the problem or any of the given statement or given regular expression. But later we have to convert it into the equivalent DFA because ultimately we have to implement DFAs only, right? Next, this was the example for this regular expression, any number of zeros followed by 1. Next, this is another example where we are having 3 states, and from Q0 we are having null transition to Q1, from Q1 we are having null transition to Q2, and on Q0 we are having a self loop of A and self loop of B at Q1, self loop of C at Q2. That means being on Q0 means we can move to Q2 without reading any input symbol. Okay, or we can also have the direct transition to Q2. So this means that we can move to final state from the initial state even without reading a single input symbol, right? So this transition is this NFA is for the regular expression A star, B star and C star, because we can move to any of the state from the initial state without reading an input symbol. But all these patterns are in concatenation, means first we should receive any number of A's if possible. Okay, if we are having such input with any number of A's, then A's must be the first input symbols to be received. After that we are having scope for B's, and last we can receive C's. So all these pattern must be followed in the sequence only. A's followed by any number of B's followed by any number of C's. We cannot have B's first and then A's or then C's. So the sequence is defined, means first we have to receive A's if A's are there, and then we can receive B's only, and after that we can receive C's only. Okay, if any of the symbol is not present, there is no issues. But if we are having A, B, C in our input string, then they should be in sequence, means A is concatenated with B is concatenated with C's. So this pattern is in concatenation. Next, this is the formal definition of NFA with epsilon closure or epsilon moves. Here this is same as the NFA, just we have added the scope of epsilon closure with the state. Okay, rest of the tuples are same as the DFA or NFA. Okay, so rest of the tuple are same as DFA, NFA, only now we are having the null move from the state. So null move from a state is possible, that is we can have a null move from a state to another state. Okay, so the rest is same. So we are having power set of states, means we can move to any number of state from a given state for a given input symbol. So yes, we are having here the power set, but null is not included in the input symbol. That's why we are considering it separately than the input set of input symbol or sigma. Okay, so we have shown the null in the union of input symbols. Okay, we cannot say that the epsilon is part of input symbol. Epsilon is always different or considered separately than the input symbols, right? So last we have the epsilon closure of state. So this is very important to calculate while converting NFA with epsilon closure to DFA equivalent NFA. So epsilon closure for a given state A, here A is the state of name of a state, is set of states which can be reached from a state A with only null, means from a state all those states that are reachable on null input are will be included in the epsilon closure of a state, including the state itself, means state itself will be included, and all the reachable states, all the states reachable without reading an input symbol will also be the part of epsilon closure of a state. For example, here for taking the same example, A is concatenated with B's and C's. So regular expression was A's concatenation with B concatenation with any number of C's. Now the epsilon closure of Q naught, first we are considering the epsilon closure of Q naught. So epsilon closure of Q naught will include the state itself. Firstly we have to include the state itself, because a self loop or null transition is understood from a state, because we are on Q naught even without receiving any input symbol, we are on Q1 even without receiving an input symbol, we are on Q2 even without receiving an input symbol. So for a closure the state itself will be included. So here we have included the Q naught and all other states reachable from the Q naught without reading an input symbol. So from Q naught we can move to Q1 without reading an input symbol, and from Q1 we can move to Q2 without reading an input symbol. So we can say that we can move up to Q2 without reading an input symbol, and all the states in this path will be included in the closure of the Q naught. So here we have Q1, and from Q1 we can move to Q2, so Q2 will also be included here, right? Next we have epsilon closure of Q1, so state itself. Next we have from Q1 we can move to state Q2 without reading any input symbol. Okay, so Q2 will also be included here. So last we have epsilon closure of Q2. So epsilon closure of Q2 will comprises of Q2 only, because we are having no further null moves from Q2. So this is the epsilon closure of all the states in this NFA with epsilon closure. So this method we will be requiring for conversion process of NFA with epsilon closure to equivalent DFA. So thank you. In next lecture we will be discussing about the method or the procedure to convert a given NFA with epsilon closure to NFA without epsilon closure or equivalent DFA. So thank you.